Welcome to the Rockaway Creates Connection podcast.
Are you ready to embark on a journey that celebrates the power of creativity, community, and transformation? We are thrilled to introduce you to the heart and soul of Rockaway Beach through our community stories. Brought to you by Rockaway Creates, a nonprofit dedicated to the peninsula and its people.
Nestled on the shores of the Atlantic, we are New Yorkers coming to you from Rockaway Beach, Queens. Each episode will take you on an exploration of its remarkable community, delving into the lives and stories of local artists, entrepreneurs, activists, and visionaries who breathe life into our beloved neighborhood. Whether you're a longtime local or just down for the day, this podcast promises to be a source of insight, secrets, and connection.
So get ready to be inspired, and you can go to rockawaycreates.org to learn more about us and how you can get involved. And if you like this podcast, please like it, binge it, and share it with your friends.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode. I'm so excited. We have Caryn Isaacs, OG, today. She's a true pioneer in the field of patient advocacy. As early as 1976, when she began using this term when her business was starting and expanding healthcare practices. In 1983, Caryn introduced the Healthline directory of participating providers, providing her phone number as a means for people to reach out to a patient advocate for assistance in finding doctors and navigating their health plans. Caryn also created a physician-owned HMO. Later, understanding the increasing need for support during life transitions, Caryn founded GetHealthHelp LLC. Today, Caryn uses her entrepreneurial skills to work with successful people, aging icons, to continue their projects, regardless of a health diagnosis or pressure imposed by the stereotypes of aging. She's a recognized expert in understanding the financial, healthcare, and legal considerations of getting older. Caryn has been recognized with accolades and awards, delivered lectures, and written extensively on topics that are crucial to the aging population and reform of the healthcare system. She is a founding member, board member, and active participant of organizations on the forefront of addressing these issues. She's an international best-selling author, speaker, and improv actress. Her upcoming book, Aging Icon, tells the stories of her amazing clients and includes tips on how you too can live the way you want to live. Thank you so much for being here, Caryn.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me, and love Rockaway Creates.
Yeah, so tell me, we heard your history and like all of the amazing things you've done, but how did you get to Rockaway?
Yes, well, I actually grew up on Long Island, but my husband and I moved to Sheepshead Bay, Brooklyn, when we got married. That was back in 1972, and we were there for a long, long time. And then, things just got changed. Different people moved in. Prices changed. And, we went from renting to owning to moving down to Florida for a little bit, coming back. And then we had friends that just told us, oh, you should come to Rockaway. It's great. So we came and took a look. And actually, when we moved here, I lived in Arbonne by the Sea. So when we moved here 16 years ago, there was nothing here. Just a couple of houses and sand, no stores. And I said, I'm not moving here. There's nothing here. But I'm really happy I am. It's really been wonderful.
That's awesome. And
especially since my husband passed, being here alone, it's a great place to be on your own.
Yeah.
Couples or on your own.
Interesting. I had also a similar experience of moving in as like a couple and then being alone in Rockaway and loving it because the sense of community, you don't feel alone.
Mhm.
Yes. So I want to know a little bit more about Aging Icon. Like, how did you come up with that? And, you know, tell me about your book.
Yeah. So when my husband passed, everybody said, "Are you going to retire? When are you moving to Florida to be near your family?" But I didn't feel like I was ready to retire, and I didn't feel like I was old. And so I took a lot of mentoring courses, got mentors, and I first took a course that was how to live your life according to the Greek mythology.
Okay.
And so first, and it had nothing to do with business. It was just how do I want to live? And I love Rockaway. So I said, I want to be by the beach. I want to be able to go fishing. I want to be able to have creative people around me and always be part of things. And then, and so what came out of that was that I should uh, pursue just the clients that, as a patient advocate for that many years, also the business has changed. So in the beginning, I, took anybody I could get. But what I realized was that if I was going to, whether it was to, uh, just zero in, rebrand, whatever everybody calls it now, uh, to only take those clients who were really excited about their lives. They were already had wonderful things that they were doing. They were creative. They loved what they did, and something happened and they just needed some help, but it wasn't anything to do with the aging, the regular home care services, make a will and, all those kinds of things. And so I was speaking to Shane, and she said, "Oh, your clients are all icons." And I said, "Yes, they are." I said, "But they're aging icons." And that was it.
Oh, I love that. And I feel like Shane is so good at that. She coined the term the shark dress, and she's really good in like pinpointing,
Who you are and what you do.
absolutely.
And that's continued to be the issue. Like, how do I explain to people who I am and what I do when I have 50 years of background to bring to the table? And so that is what the book is. It's the stories of the clients, but it's also interwoven with like a workbook type of thing where people can, who are aging icons, if they identify as an aging icon, and that's, been happening since I've been saying it, either the people say, "I am one," right away. Those are perfect clients. Or they might lead a little coaxing till they come around and they say, "Yeah, I am an aging icon." And of course, when you talk to people, younger people who say, "Oh, my parents are older. My mother is doing too much. She should." They consider themselves a caregiver, and I don't. When I speak to them, I say, doesn't sound like this person needs care. It sounds like they're still doing things, and so if they consider themselves an aging icon, or they're looking to help an aging icon, then the book will give them some tools of how to do it on their own. And that way, I can reach a broader audience than just the local people I work with now.
Yeah. It's actually really cool because as you were saying it, I totally feel like my grandmother could have been one of your clients. She's not local, so she lives overseas, so that would be very difficult. but she had, made it to 98. She's currently 98 years old and like did whatever she wanted to do and lived the way she wanted to live, and still was living alone in her apartment up until very, very recently. So yeah, I think there's this whole unspoken for group of people that are just like, they want to keep moving. They want to keep being themselves and do not want to, be forced into, hey, I'm older, I guess I'm going to go to a nursing home now.
I mean, one of the things I said recently to somebody who was in their 50s, and they said their mother was in her 70s, but she was actually younger than me. And he was calling himself a caregiver. And he said that he didn't know how to get her to slow down because she was very active in the church, and she started all these programs, and she was running and doing all these things for people. And I said, you better stop calling her that you're a caregiver. You're not caring for her. She doesn't need any care. If you're nice to her, that's just being a good son. That's not making you a caregiver.
Yeah. Yeah. So is a lot of what you do kind of coaching family members on what their actual role should be?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, a lot of people have a lot of guilt when they see their parents struggling, whether it's just that they look different. They may not be running like they used to. They may say themselves, I don't drive everywhere. I have a driver. So it's just like a little thing like that. And then people say, you can't drive? No, I can drive. I just realized that it's not something that I really enjoy. I feel, why should I do it when I don't have to do it? I can afford to hire a driver. I can call Uber. I had an 85-year-old woman that said recently to me that she has 8 kids, but did I have my Uber? She said, the guy will come and walk me up to the door and carry my packages up. I don't need to be calling my children.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a lot of what when people hear the song, right, live like you want to live, then they understand that we are talking about giving, people who still want to give, people who have a love of life. It's all of that. It's not about thinking about in terms, if you people who have to go to a nursing home, the only reason you have to go to a nursing home is if 2 people need to roll you over and you're completely out of it. Then you won't care what they say about you. But that is not what most people have. Right? Just because the person's in a wheelchair or using a walker, that doesn't make them incapable of thinking or doing things. And so instead, with the 98-year-old client, I just published 5 books for her since COVID.
Wow.
She realized that she had a lot of material. And so when she was stuck in her room, she took all that material out. And then once people could start to come, I found a theater graduate for her, and who came and digitized it all, sent it off to the publishers, and now she's a best-selling author.
Wow.
And my first book, which I just really found out recently, I was part of an entrepreneur conference, and that many of the people who were there who were saying that they were authors talking about collaborative books. And so I've been in several collaborative books, and one of them, the most recent one that became an international bestseller on Amazon, is called Never Give Up. And my chapter is Everything Old is New Again. And I just tell my story. So actually, Aging Icon, the book, is just moving from there, saying, okay, this is all the things that got me here. And now, this is the rest of it.
Wow.
That's incredible.
Yeah, that's super impressive. So when did you start writing books, and how did that become a part of what you do?
Well, actually, I started speaking. I've been speaking for a long, long time. I took theater arts in school. I was the lead in my senior play, and then went to college for theater. But and this is really, very timely, because a lot of what's happening now actually did happen in the time when I was in college. So was the Vietnam War. And so my father had just passed away right when I started college. And that first year was very tough for my mother, having to, juggle how to pay for stay in school with only one income.
Yeah.
And when my teachers said, we're not going to have any class, everybody out on the lawn. And we had our guitars and we had black armbands, and we thought this was great. But what wasn't so great is that we did not get to have an end of class, and we all got incompletes. And then my mother was not capable of paying for another extra year of me to go stay in school. So I went to work for my local dentist. And then doctors always gave me great opportunities, thing different that was the patient needed. They would say, would you want to do that? Or if there was a job opening, they would send me for training. And and then I love to teach people. I don't think I would like to be a teacher, like especially in the school system, from what I hear. But I do like to give my opinion, tell people how to do things.
Yeah.
So I was asked to write things. And then, of course, once we had the opportunities, there was online, there was Delphi groups was the first thing. And I had a blog. I took a writer's course where they would like give you a word, and then you would write a story about it. And I love that whole process of like things just pop into your mind. That's the creative process. You don't sit there and know what's going to come up, and you say, where did that come from?
Yeah. Wow. So being a Rockaway resident, or being part of Rockaway Creates, how has that changed the trajectory of what you're doing and where you're going?
Well, I have to say, that I'm saying now that I added in the improv. And so doing the improv, right? And so Shane, Dana, yourself as well, that it just seemed like fun to do. And since I liked that, and I was looking for things to do, so instead of sitting home on the weekend watching television, then the opportunity came to participate in the improv. And I just loved it. I loved dressing up. I like putting on makeup. Now I have wigs. I have all kinds of costumes. And I started to get this idea that I could mimic my clients, and I could speak for them, because they weren't really coming across well on camera. When I would, try to have a testimonial, like I have wonderful written testimonials from them, but when I tried to transfer that to a website to try to let them speak, they were very nervous, and it didn't look good. So I said, well, I'll just pretend I'm them, because I can speak just like them, and I know what they were going to say. And so I worked with Shane. She's my improv director, and she's my improv YouTube director.
Wow. Wow. And you just kind of dress up as your clients and like read their testimonials, or?
Yeah. Well, I act it. We actually like this. Like Shane asks me a question, and then I'll just answer as if I'm that person.
Oh, I love that.
Right. And then that's sort of what came out to, say that, that, and then as a speaker, I was, you have to really always practice, that different ways of how you're going to present and who your audience is. And so I have been speaking about to people who want to become a patient advocate. I do a lot of that. And I have recently been speaking to other entrepreneurs because I've started hundreds of healthcare businesses. I've owned 3 multi-million-dollar companies of my own. And so I have been, just speaking about entrepreneurship in general, and then thinking of how do you get the people to recognize themselves in what you're saying?
Yeah.
Right. And so that's the biggest compliment. If afterwards, instead of the people saying, oh, that was so smart, that was so wonderful, which was what doctors always said, that's great, but send me patients.
Right.
To be able to get people to say, gee, I saw myself in that, you've made me feel that I can do it now myself. That's the biggest compliment.
Wow. And then, okay, so I want to talk to you a little bit about Rockaway. What are your favorite things to do in Rockaway? How do you spend your time when you're not working with people?
So I love to eat, and then I can't say there's enough great places. I used to stay, just go back to Brooklyn to do things to the old places that I knew. I hardly ever leave. I definitely don't leave Rockaway on the weekends. No reason to. And I love to go to, I like to eat healthy. So one of the other things that I was able to get organic food here. I belonged to the Rockaway Buying Club, which is now, not working at this time, but I grow my own food on my roof deck.
Wow.
And
Cool.
then I love to go to the boardwalk, walk on the boardwalk as much as I can, and then during the summer, participate and eat off the boardwalk. And then Rocco's I just went to Cinco de Mayo at Rocco's, and we had a ball. It was wonderful. I mean, I think we were blowing the roof off at the top of the place with the music and everybody dancing and singing. And then I do love to take the ferry. My office is at Wall Street, so it's just an hour. We'll jump on the ferry and we just then come back. I used to go over to Dalton's, which is now the hotel, and that is like so great there. I love all the restaurants there, Margie's, the Roof. I was there for St. Patrick's Day, the Rockaway St. Patrick's Day. And also sometimes I just go up there and, earlier when it's not open for the restaurant upstairs, I can just sit out there, make my phone calls, do some paperwork. I love to bring people to Rockaway to show them what it's about. And one of my friends who is also part of Rockaway Creates, Jackie, I had invited her to come to my house, and I said, let's go up to the beach. And she said, oh, should we call an Uber? And I said, no, we're going to walk up the block. And she saw that and said, I'm buying a house here. And like, so that's it. So I have a friend that is here now, and we take turns inviting people.
Yeah, I think that is also what has always sold me on Rockaway, is just like, really, if you don't want to, you don't need to leave.
Yeah.
If you can figure out how to make your life work within the Rockaway Peninsula, you don't have to leave, and it could be a very cool, like, fun life. So I'm so happy that you were able to do that for yourself. How many years have you been in Rockaway?
16 years. 16
Wow.
years. Yeah, time flies. I was here for Sandy.
Yeah.
I should say also, shopping. I go to Lana's Loft. I was just going to something, I had a business thing in Bay Ridge, and I said, oh, I just need a little jacket. And I was able to, on my way to the place, stop at Lana's Loft, run in. They always have what I want. And go on my way. I shop on 116th Street. I just got a bunch of T-shirts for my family in Florida. Or I go to 129th for a lot of things. I go every week to my chiropractor on 129th, and then throw my dry cleaning in, go across the street to pick up things at the little deli there, and then go over and get some Italian specialties. So that's my routine.
That's so awesome. I mean, I'm so glad. And I'm also glad that you've named all of these amazing places in Rockaway, because I know myself, I love Lana's Loft, and I actually have not bought jeans from anywhere else in like probably the last couple of years. And, I love that everything, I feel like most things in Rockaway are small businesses and curated. And so there's not all of this mess of like, I cannot go to malls. Like, it's just so overwhelming for me. There's so many options and none of them feel right. And being able to like use local businesses and really tap into them having to sort through everything for me before it gets to me is like so key for my life.
I should say, like, that I have to mention the gift is love, because I always can get a gift there, but people just love the bag too. So I'm like, where did you get this? Look, it says Rockaway on it.
Yeah.
So when anywhere that people come from, they've heard of Rockaway, and they like to get a little piece of it. Especially the chocolate, Madeline's. They sell the Madeline's chocolates, and I have a list of people who demand it.
Yeah, it's so cool. I also have loved the gift is love. My office was on 116th, so it was so easy for me to just like go in there, find things, and I have to say that's one of the things I miss about Rockaway so much.
Yeah. I am been going to Florida for just for a month or so in the winter, and now I'm traveling back and forth. I purchased a place there from just to vacation, and everybody keeps asking me, when are you moving in? When are you? I say, no, I would never have a reason to. I like it. I don't want to be here when it's freezing cold and snowing. But
Yeah. All right. So is there any other like Rockaway tips that you want to give people, or any nuggets of wisdom that you can impart on people that are dealing with an aging icon?
Well, so I should sing my song.
Yeah.
Right? And so live like you wanna live like it's never over, love like never before. Shining bright, you're an aging icon, just getting going, and there's so much more. Live like you wanna live like you wanna live like you wanna live like you want to live.
Oh, amazing.
Yes.
Wow. I love it.
Oh, so good. Yeah. Who did you write the song?
It was written for me by a jingle writer, Lowry, and then I went to New York to record it. So when you hear it with the music background, then it's a little better. And you can see it on the website with the video of pictures of me and some other aging icons at agingicon.com.
Okay. So tell people how they can find you and
Yes.
where they can buy your book, etc.
So everything is at agingicon.com. They can also see me on YouTube at Aging Icon Live and Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, X. They think if they Google my name, they're going to see pages and pages and pages of all different issues that I've written about and places I am. Also, if people have a medical problem and an aging problem, if they have something really serious that's happened, medical mistakes, all different kind of issues related to healthcare. I hold a discussion group on the second Monday of every month for Pulse Center for Patient Safety. That's pulsecenterforpatientsafety.org. We have 3 different programs every month. I have one where people can come and there's all professionals there, and we encourage people to come and talk about their problems, and we have professionals who will try to answer their questions. And also we have speakers at some of the meetings, and we have also right now this month is Mental Health Awareness Month, but we also have something called the Take Charge program, which is 5 steps of how to keep yourself safe in the healthcare system.
Wow.
Great.
Wow, that's really awesome. Okay, so everyone look up Caryn Isaacs, Google her, go to agingicon.com, find out more, because I know that every single person listening is dealing with at least one aging icon in their life.
Yeah.
Whether it be like a family member or a friend or, a friend of the family, but, there are so many people around that are like Caryn and like her patients who are just trying to age on their own terms and wanting to still maintain a lifestyle rather than being cared for.
And I love to talk to people, so anybody is welcome to call me. I'm happy to give advice, free advice. Doesn't mean you have to take it, but
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff.
And if you're watching this now or watching this on the replay, please make sure that you send it to somebody who needs to hear it, and that you binge watch the other episodes and meet other Rockaway Creative members that are doing awesome things for the community. Have a great day, everyone.
Have a great day.